Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for subscribing. And thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. By now, everybody has learned that the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, has remained via winning the election as the Prime Minister of Jamaica. The Jamaica Labour Party has officially won the election. I traveled across the island yesterday. I got up pretty early and I traveled right across the island. But I was traveling from the southern end and I was looking at many polling stations. I know that it was pretty early in the morning when I passed a few of them, but I realized that there weren't many persons at the polling station. Wasn't many persons at the polling station, but what I realized when on my return, because I was hurrying to get back so I could vote. So on the coming end, I realized that it was very peaceful. There were so many Jamaica Labour Party persons, so many People's National Party persons out, and they were voting, right? And many of them were just standing around, drinking, eating, and all of these type of things, merrymaking, basically. And it was so peaceful. And that is one of the things that I take from this election. It was very, very peaceful. I had a few rounds we had to win with someone who disrespected me some time ago, and I met him at the polling station and I had to confront him and let him know, caution him. But besides that, besides me being an aggressor, everything else was calm and peaceful. All across the island, from my end, basically, where I traveled and what I saw, it was peaceful and I like it. You saw laborites here, they're eating and drinking and this and that. And then right beside them were the PNP persons. And it was just such a beautiful thing. Even in informal settlements like at-risk communities and stuff like that, I passed many polling stations and it was just beautiful. And I am very proud. I can safely say that I am very proud of Jamaican people, irrespective of what took place on the internet and what take place on social media, where we were taking jabs at each other. Persons are taking jabs, not me, because I wasn't really taking jab at anybody. You understand me? I only spoke out against Dion Jackson Miller and how she probed the Prime Minister. But besides that, people taking jabs at each other on social media, it was a very peaceful, well-respectable election. And of that, I am very, very, very proud to be a Jamaican, And many persons are still sore losers. You will have them out there and they're saying that how can this be a win for the Jamaica Labour Party because they have lost so many seats and all of these type of things. Listen, the argument came out by men that a win is a win, right? And it was upon scoring, upon getting with women, that they ran with the argument that a win is a win. It doesn't matter what she does. It doesn't matter what she says about him. He scored, he won. So it's the same thing. The Prime Minister won. What is the issue? The Prime Minister won. You need to just move on from it and just accept the fact that the Prime Minister won. If the PNP party had won, I had to get up and work just the same. I have to get up and work. You understand me? And for so many persons that hate the policies of Jamaica Labour Party, I ask the question, why don't you guys move to Russia or Cuba? Speaking of Cuba, I had a Cuban customer this morning that came to my shop and that I'm building. And he came there and, he was telling me a whole lot of things about Jamaica. And he said that he loved Jamaica. He's a Jamaican at heart, even though he's a Cuban. And he's telling me about the things that takes place in Cuba and stuff like that. You can't do as you do in Jamaica. In Cuba, you simply can't because of so many restrictions that are on you, especially when it comes to the media. So if so many persons are having ill feelings towards the Jamaica Labour Party, who gave you the liberty to be free and post what you feel like and what you can on the internet about anybody, including the Prime Minister, even though you can be held liable. You understand? At the end of the day, you have that freedom because of the Jamaica Labour Party. It's simply because of the Jamaica Labour Party. So many persons are asking why Anne-Marie Vaz lost the election. Anne-Marie Vaz lost the election because Jamaica Labour Party persons who support the party are very lazy. They did not come out to support her. They did not come out to vote. They came out, merrymaking and partying, and when there's a mass rally and stuff like that, they're there. But when it's time to vote, because I know several persons who support the Jamaica Labour Party, but they did not come out to vote. Several persons that I know really well, and they said that they aren't voting, they're coming out to vote. They are lazy. These people are lazy. And so with them being lazy, clearly Jamaica Labour Party is going to lose more seats. but they still came out the victor. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day. So if they won by one seat, at the end of the day, the Jamaica Labour Party won, the Prime Minister won, you understand me? And that's it, you understand? And so many things we can speak of that isn't up to par, so many things that are unfinished. Many persons are speaking on road, but many persons aren't really concerned about road, because everybody's saying that, yes, the Prime Minister is building road, but they need this and they need that. The Prime Minister is building road here, building road there. And, you know, many elections ago, persons were complaining about road, and now road is being repaired. That's why I said you cannot please Jamaican people. The Prime Minister is very charismatic, but Jamaican people are not charismatic people. They are bully. They're overly aggressive people who do not know what they want, because when they get it, they still complain. You know, under the Maslow law, they show you all different strategies of things that makes a society function. But also, the same Maslow law show that people find problems for every solution. They find problems for every solution. So with the Prime Minister building road and doing this, building police station, hospital repair, all of these type of things, it makes no difference. People are still going to find something to complain about. And I'm not saying that people aren't within their right to speak on what they are not getting as citizens of the country. But what I realize is that many persons want tangibles, money, tablets, as what they said that Isaac Buchanan gave to people in Portland. They want money, tablet, cell phone, and all these type of things, you understand? And it is good, because if you are in a position of power when it comes to politics and stuff like that, they are tangibles that people would like to know that, you know, they get or they are given to as a head start. So if the tablets are a head start for like students who are, you know, in school studying, whatever the case may be, then that will help them. But many of them, you know, is for leisure time and just to go on TikTok that they really want it for. But at the end of the day, like I'm saying, you can't blame people if they vote because they want tangibles. Many persons want to start up a business. Many persons are doing business like myself and want grant and want some assistance. You understand me? And it will be great. So if they find that their MP has facilitated that, they are within their right to vote for who they want to vote for. You cannot blame PNP people for supporting PNP simply because Jamaica Labour Party people are very lazy. And I have to call them out. Jamaica Labour Party people are very lazy. They sit in the comfort of their home, and they do not want to come out. They don't want to get up and do what they're supposed to do. And it's just one day. You're not there for 8 hours either. You're not there for 24 hours. You're there for a few hours waiting in a line, and then you vote. Or you could go do what I do. You go in the evening hours when it's nearly time to close. You understand me? That's what I usually do. So I end up not waiting. I just go and I cast my vote. So this is what happened, and the Prime Minister came out the victor nevertheless. And for that, I had said that whoever won, if the PNP wins or the Jamaica Labour Party wins, my thing is that I want them to continue the work of the Prime Minister and do more. That was only the thing that I was concerned with, not to start the foolishness of 2004, 2002, 19 going up. We didn't want that. You understand me? So my argument was that whoever wins, even though I vote for the Jamaica Labour Party, whoever wins, I just want to know that they continue the work of the Prime Minister and do much more. Persons are asking Montego Bay is a clean sweep and why people vote in St. James area parish for the Jamaica Labour Party. There are a few things that I'm going to say. And we remember like in 2005 when there were so many persons who were being extradited for drug trafficking and stuff like that. And it was rumored that these people are affiliated with the Jamaica Labour Party. And so a lot of them were extradited, went to prison, given lengthy prison time and all these type of things overseas where they were tried and convicted. And persons have it to say that they were supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party, and because of such, the PNP wanted to get rid of them. That is the argument. But let's say all things are equal, and that is in fact the argument. Then came the scamming around 2005 going up when it started peaking. And so many young persons came out and they started voting for the People's National Party. And they said that, okay, they can get to scam, they can get to this, they can get to do that, they can get to do that. So when it came out years later, they realized that a lot of scammers were being extradited also. You understand? Then Bruce Golding came in, and Bruce Golding made a statement when he won, and he said that you cannot come and clamp down on every single thing. You have to have social interventions and all sorts of program out there that can assist young people with like training, with getting money in their pockets, getting them gainfully employed, and all these type of things. So Bruce Golding had lost the election after one term. Bruce Golding lost the election and PNP win. And then we had the National Security Minister who was saying that it's lottery scamming. If there's 2 persons that were unalive in Portland, it's to the lottery scamming. If there's a family list, it's lottery scamming. Every single thing the minister, then National Security Minister Peter Bunting, put on the lottery scamming. And so he helped to taint and mar Jamaica, when Jamaica's image, that is, when you're looking at it from an international level. Then came and these were young people who voted for the People's National Party. So upon seeing that, then there came a twist again where they started voting for the Jamaica Labour Party. And what you have is that there are a lot of young people who are voting for the Jamaica Labour Party. So when we see a lot of persons who are involved in a life of crime being taken out, you hear the soundbite of tired of them in the society. We're tired of them destroying our community. We're tired of them making our community look bad. We're tired of them doing this and doing that. So persons were glad when the law enforcement officers were taking out wanted men and men involved in a life of crime, unaliving people, doing this, doing that, and all sorts of things. But a lot of persons who were saying that they were happy that the police is doing their work, or the police officers are doing their work, or law enforcement, were what? Young people. Many persons think that these are old people sitting on their veranda somewhere. It was actually young people who were hitting out and were saying a lot of things. So in came the election, a lot of young people are going to vote, and they're going to vote for the Jamaica Labour Party. You understand? Because while you may be employed and you don't like your salary, you don't like the working environment, you don't like your supervisor, your boss, you don't like the way the place is structured, they look within themselves and realize that at the end of the day, they have a job. Yes, it might be tedious, right? And it might be a limited resources when it comes to rent, when it comes to utilities and stuff like that. And the Prime Minister listens when it comes to the price of goods and services. So the Prime Minister listened to all of that. And that's why in all of his meeting, he spoke on minimum wage. He also spoke on prices of goods and services, food. He spoke on rent. He spoke on utility, which, you know, the JPS license is under review and all these type of things to renegotiate when it comes to their contract and all of that. So he's trying to make it wherein there's a lesser charge, I think, per kilowatt. So you end up paying way less for your utility bills. And these are things that the Prime Minister was listening to all along. You understand? And so when we take that into consideration, the persons are wondering why they should vote for the People's National Party. You will be voting for them simply because you like PNP and because you are a PNP. As you hear so many persons, I'm PNP from I was in my mother's womb and all these type of things. Me personally, growing up, I did not know anything about PNP. I did not know anything about JLP. I did not know anything about politics. I didn't even know any MP in any area where my family moved to. Because my family did not depend on politicians. We did not depend on party. We weren't party supporters. We weren't raised that way to follow politics and be a part of it. We weren't. We were just independent people who did our own thing. And if we don't have it, then we simply do without. We did not ask, we did not beg, we did not do, we simply do without when we don't have it. I'm sorry guys, I'm tongue twisting. We simply do without when we don't have it. And so me coming up now and, you know, listening, reading, and trying to associate myself with what's taking place on local soil, I realize the importance of exercising your civic duty. I realize that there are benefits that are out there that you can capitalize on. And I understand that is the importance of voting and all these type of things. I was having a discussion with an associate and he said that he's not voting because he doesn't like his MP, and people protest about road and nothing is being done. And they're saying that the MP said that they pay for their vote and so they don't owe people anything. And I'm looking into it. I'm like, there are two parties. If you don't like one, you can vote for the other. You understand? But if you sit at home, you're going to allow people to vote for you. We don't live in a country wherein if 10 persons supposed to vote and 2 vote for PNP, 3 vote for Labour, right, and 5 did not vote, there's an interim government that can stay in place because 5 would be the majority, right? I asked this question to several people and they did not know who the majority is. And it just goes to show you how much people aren't really thinking. but 5 would be the majority. And so they would have had an interim government, whether it be by the military or whichever group out there, until the mass of the people decide on who they really want. You understand? Unfortunately, we do not have that system in Jamaica. And so you still have to exercise your civic duty of making your voice be heard and voting. If you do not like that particular MP, then you simply vote them out. You understand? Because if you vote them out, then the losing party, their leader, is going to look at the reasons and hear, feedback from the persons in the community as to why they lost the election. And they don't care. You can't tell them anything. There are certain people out there you simply can't tell anything to. So I just leave it be, and that's it. But at the end of the day, like I said, the prime minister won. The prime minister came out the victor. Many persons are, sad because their particular MP did not win. It's life. It's life. You're going to win, you're going to lose. It's life. And that's just a part of life also. I respect all those who came out and vote, whether you voted for the People's National Party or the Jamaica Labour Party. I respect people who actually come out and vote. And that's what those are the persons who I am addressing. I'm not addressing people who did not vote and they sit somewhere saying all this stuff. I'm not interested in hearing anything from them. Not anything, because you guys are just the great complainers. You don't believe in exercising your civic duty. You believe in cussing out people all day, every day. That's all these people are about. They are just a bunch of Nissan's people who have the ability to vote and choose not to. But then they start complaining. And that's where it's at. You understand me? That's where it's at. That's where it's at. So I give you a brief history on Montego Bay area and St. James in particular, and why a lot of persons are voting for the Jamaica Labour Party instead of the People's National Party. You understand? I know a lot of persons who are PNP supporters who voted, who came out, and unfortunately they did not come out the victor, especially in the St. James area. And, that's it. Many persons are saying that Westmoreland won the seat. Westmoreland need to win the seat. Dayton Campbell is a perfect representation for Westmoreland. If Westmoreland, if he was in Hanover, he would have been the perfect representation for Hanover. And he would also be the perfect representation for Westmoreland. Who knows? You understand? I've done several videos on Hanover. So I would think that he would be there in Hanover, sitting comfortably, winning a seat, or in Westmoreland, sitting, winning a seat. So I am certainly not surprised. I'm not sure why people are, but I am not. I'm not. I think Dayton Campbell is a perfect representation for Westmoreland. And, if you are lazy and you wish not to come out and vote, then you just deal with the ramification of it. Do you understand me? But I'm happy. I'm happy because my party won. But here's the thing. I noticed in my area, it's extremely quiet. A lot of persons are very quiet, and I noticed. But if they had won, if who they support had won, it would have been a totally different thing. Because, they are loud and they like to be vulgar and be seen. And that's how their behavior. And so if they had won, it would be a different thing. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I just hope that the work continues and there is more improvement and, money can come in people's pocket, more money in people's pocket and all these type of things. And people start doing well, making a lot of money, increasing employment, increasing salary, more revenue generating business and all these type of things. And, move the country forward to a super first world country where we can all benefit. We can all benefit financially. And you see the crime thing, toning down on crime. Very good. Very good, Mr. Prime Minister. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to call out anybody. I really do not care about the foolishness that these people are going to say on the internet. The die-hearted mindset is simply not going to work. The die-hearted mindset is not going to work. People vote for policies and stuff like that. Should vote for policies and the agendas, plans. And unfortunately, if you don't have it, then you're simply not going to, you should not be voting, you should not be hell-bent on voting for someone simply because you like a party. And that's how PNP, a lot of them function. They are hell-bent on voting for PNP because they are PNP. I don't know how they do it. I'm from Liberty City. I don't know how they do it. But, that's their thing. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day. God bless you. Bye-bye. And another thing, it's good to be vocal. It's good to support your party. It's good to believe in what you want to believe in. I think one of the biggest issues that the PNP is having, and they do not realize, but sometimes it's a paradox. The biggest strength is also the greatest weakness. And I think there are way too many controversial persons who are vocal supporting the People's National Party. Not way too many persons, way too many controversial persons, or persons with so much controversies behind their name who are vocal in supporting the People's National Party. Controversy might sell, but everything has what? Limitations and boundaries. Now, when you have Vybz Kartel, for example, person with so much controversies, yes, he's doing well in his music right now, but at the end of the day, we are talking about the unaliving of someone. We are talking about conspiring to unalive someone that he was tried and convicted for in a court of law. Did 13 years in prison, came out and he's supporting the People's National Party. Then at the same time, he went to Mecca and saying that it's one done Tesha Miller. This is an individual who is serving 39 years in prison for unaliving people. And he came out of prison and is actually supporting it. He went to Mecca, bigging up one order and Klansman and saying that there's only one done, and that's Tesha Miller. Then we have other controversial persons like the L.A. Lewis, the Cute Boss. Cute was a street prostitute who comes out and on TikTok, where young people are. The app was mainly catering to young people, teenagers, children who are doing their little dance challenge or music challenge. And she's coming on the internet telling how she sell her cat, how much what man did to her. She has a son who is gay. She has a man in her life who her son is sleeping with. All these type of nasty, controversial things that these people put forward on the internet just for traction and for taps and roses. So when we look into all these type of things, it kind of taint the party. Then you have Mark Gold in the head, who was associated with FinSac, who had the great collapse of the economy in the 90s, and people are talking about like it's 35 years, get over it. Banks went down. There's Eagle Commercial Bank that went down. Are people forgetting this? I'm sorry, not Eagle Commercial Bank, Eagle Merchant Bank that went down. A lot of persons lose their home. What happened to thermoplastic? You understand? There's this man in Montego Bay who had a very large property on Top Road. When he came back, he saw a hotel being built there. These are people who lost and they haven't recovered. They're persons who lost their homes. Persons who lost their homes. We have to talk about these type of things. And so there are way too many controversial persons who are actually vocal in the People's National Party. They do a whole lot of things. L.A. Lewis is known for his clownery and foolery on the internet, and then he's vocal about being a proud supporter of the People's National Party. Richard Curry and his controversy, the questionable maroon, claimed to be a maroon, though I am not even in favor of any maroon because these people are known traitors and sellout. You understand what I'm saying? So there have been so much things. Then you have the Joylan Silvera unaliving his wife, allegedly accused of unaliving his wife. So many things that took place, and because of such, these people are vocal. Yes, we have Buju Banton who went to prison in the US and came home and stuff like that, and he's back, and then he claimed to be a Rasta man that is on fire for Selassie and African repatriation and all these type of things. Back to Africa and maroons and all these type of things, and yet you are a supporter of the People's National Party. The People's National Party, spearheaded by Norman Manley. Norman Manley had Marcus Garvey, the Garveyites, Marcus Garvey, who most Rastas are Garveyites. People's National Party, Norman Manley had Marcus Garvey arrested. He missed 6 KSAC meetings, and you have to be present at the meetings in order to sit on the KSAC board. And Norman Manley had Marcus Garvey arrested because Marcus Garvey made a speech that attorneys and judges that pull together to rob poor people, that take poor people money and purposely lose case, should be arrested. They should be arrested and charged. They should be brought to the books. Norman Manley did not like that speech. And he had Marcus Garvey arrested, so he missed 6 KSAC meeting. When I see a man as great as Buju, through reggae music, full stop, coming out and supporting People's National Party and the fundamentals of it, you question the so-called righteousness of Rastas. You question their validity. So these are things that people have to take into consideration, whether you like it or not. There are way too many controversial people who were vocal. Footer hype. Now you come on. I'm not even going to get into the microcosm of it. I need not to break it down. We have seen over the years all sorts of controversial things that Foottype have been saying, disrespecting people and saying this and saying that about all sorts of persons, all sorts of other entertainers in dancehall. You understand? And these people come out vocally supporting People's National Party. It's not going to sit well with the mass of the people. So even though the Jamaica Labour Party won 16 seats, they still came out the victor. It was not enough for you guys to win. It simply was not enough for you guys to win. And that's just the bottom line of it. I think that you guys need to, challenge people who are vocal and give them some limitations to speak on the party's behalf. And I think that's where the issue is. I mean, there's freedom of speech, but with every freedom comes boundaries again and limitation, specific obligation, caveat. You understand? So there are things you can be liable with. But with regard to speaking or supporting the party and being vocal, people just do not like these people. And that's a harsh reality. A lot of people out there who are vocal in the People's National Party, people don't like you. And because people don't like you, people do not want to be a part of anything that you are part of or anything that you are supporting. So these are things that you have to look into. Yes, Peter Bunting won his seat and stuff like that. Peter Bunting went into a PNP stronghold seat. We're not going to disregard the fact that there are stronghold PNP seats that are out there. So he moved from one seat and went into a PNP stronghold. So he more than likely would have won. Same thing for Dayton Campbell. And that's why I said he's a perfect representation of Westmoreland, knowing Dayton Campbell and the controversies around him. Westmoreland is a perfect seat for him, or somewhere in Hanover. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not here to skip fences. We're just speaking the truth as it comes.